every Saturday we used to go into the same cafe and have a coffee every morning, every Saturday morning. And for probably a year, we used to go every Saturday, but nobody recognised us. Nobody knew what type of coffee we had each time we went. We thought that was a bit strange. Well, surely you must know our faces by now, but they didn't. And so we thought, right, well, we'll open a cafe that we think is going to be the friendliest one and will recognise people and make people feel special. I'm Peter, I'm one of the owners of Flirt Cafe Bar in Bournemouth. To flirt is to be very friendly, it's to be cheeky, but without the sort of the sexual side of it. And so we wanted that sort of connotation. So we wanted staff to be flirty, but know when to stop, and we wanted the whole feel of the place to be a bit cheeky. The idea of the sort of very inclusive personality came really from the early days when we had the first cafe. We opened Legend in 1993. Two blokes opening a cafe bar in 1993. The climate was quite different then. You know, things weren't quite the same as they are now. However, it never crossed our mind that people would see it as a gay bar or particularly focused on that. As far as we were concerned, we were just going to do a job. But the word went out very quickly and it became a very inclusive place. And because we don't have any ideas, we don't care whether people are gay, straight, whether they were transgendered or whatever, we don't care. All I want people to do is to respect each other. I think it's easier to be openly gay now than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago when we had the cafe, I was more nervous of our gay customers if they were particularly flamboyant, because we used to get the odd remarks from people walking by, and if they were sat in the window and they were particularly flamboyantly dressed or whatever, then they would get the comments. I still think that happens today, sadly, but I don't think it happens as much. And I don't think, which is the most important thing, I don't think that the people it's directed at are intimidated in the same way as they were 20 years ago. Whereas I think 20 years ago, if you had what they used to call gay bashing, you know, where people would say rude words and, you know, take the mickey out of people, I think it was a bit disappointing, and I think it made you feel very self-conscious, and a lot of people would just go into hiding. Now I don't think people do that because there is a much wider acceptance now, genuinely. I don't think most people don't really care about your sexuality, as long as you don't force your sexuality onto somebody who's not interested. But that's true whether you're straight or gay. I mean, I don't know whether, you know, a bank manager who might be sat in here, and I'm not using that as any particular reason, just creating a picture of what a very conservative looking man might look like. I don't know whether he's wearing ladies' underwear or not. And I don't care. As long as he behaves correctly in our cafe, I don't really care what he does in his private life. I don't care what you do in your private life, and I don't suppose you care what I do either. What matters is do we respect each other, and that's the most important thing.